Jake here at Pear Tree Ranch, and we're working with Harlon. Harlon was featured in a Ryan Rose video. She was rearing, and they've had some success since. They were just telling me they recently went to martingale, which is basically a device that helps when you draw on the reins, the rings of the martingale help keep the pressure down, help keep the horse from popping its head. And that was helpful in getting some cantering going and some different things, but there's some head tossing and still bother. And they have a list of things that they're keeping a secret because they really want to know, what do I kind of find? And they asked me, okay, get to work, poke around. So that's what we're going to do. They're just here to watch in the background. But we're filming to share with you. Tube, get it? All right. I know what I want to hunt for when I hear that information. Okay? We should know by now the answer is nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip, stand still, forwards, backwards, right, left, up, down, stand still, walk, trot, canter, gallop, back up. Okay? That's the answer. So there is resistance in this nose and neck. That's going to cause a problem back into the shoulder, ribs, and hip. I pointed out, oh, we have some pretty in our mane. When brushing, there's some hollowing behind the shoulder blades here. They said, pretty high-headed already. If we know we're rearing, if we're having to go to a martingale, just the shape of the neck, the shape of the hip, all that tells me that the nose and the neck aren't thoughtfully going forward or right and left. It's not coming through and over the top. All that is aware. So guess where we should start? Shushing the nose, okay? But we can't just, it's not really thoughtful to just go, I'm gonna chuck you in the noggin and teach you to put your head down. We need to kind of feel our way in there. So we wanna make sure that I can rub and not have some fear, okay? We're winning. And then I'm just gonna hunt for, what do I gotta do to get some form of acknowledgement of pressure? I got more acknowledgement from the fly by her butt than with the shushy stick, okay? So there, we're getting some flinches down and in, okay? So when I say nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip, okay? Nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, hip. Another way that we can think of that is, I know, but we're trying to have everybody be able to see, darling. Mind, flexion, weight, feet, for hand, hind, feet. Okay? Mind, flexion, weight, feet. So we got to get the mind more involved here. And I had to shush that fairly loud and tap on that nose to get the mind, like, see, the mind is finally acknowledging something is happening, but we're putting our head up and into it, okay, till we ran our nose into it, and then we started to put our nose somewhere different, okay? Forward with the nose and the neck looks like down, okay? Forward and down look the same with the nose and the neck. So here I took the halter and I said, put your head down, okay? That meant more than the stick did. It's not good or bad, it just is, okay? So that is working, okay? But see, look, that, you don't need to come into me with that. You're gonna get the boot in the belly or the stick in the butt, okay? So we have push into pressure, lick and chew. Oh, darn, guess that move isn't gonna work on you. Okay, let's try again. Forward and down look the same with the nose and the neck, okay? So we know that that works. Back and up look the same with the nose and the neck. Don't run into me. Don't run into me. So notice the taps. See how that is shooting down? Technically, it's back and up, okay? Let's see if we can give a good look from the side. That's just the weight shifting back. The nose hasn't done any form of backwards. There's back and up. That's the neck pulling away up. There's back and up. After a good up, you'll get down. Okay? And that's where this shushing the nose, as I call it, herding, this is a herding tool. So I'm herding the nose back and up. And see, once I get a good back and up, forward and down happens. Okay? The rope or steady pressure talks to the body. Okay? Or controls the body. The stick talks to the mind. So when I can use the stick or really win at liberty, there we go. I'm changing the mind. So now we have a question off camera. What's the optimum response? When I push this stick so that you can see, I'll do it so that you guys can kind of see too. If this is the horse's nose, when this pushes, right, where's the energy traveling? Down. So where should the nose go? Go down with it. Okay? What's the horse doing? Resistance. Pushing into pressure. Prey animal response. Okay? So all we have to recognize is the horse acting like a partner or is the horse acting like a prey animal? Prey animal. That's not helpful. So we have to recognize that is the first response is prey animal first, right? Pushed into pressure, swung the hip into me. I'm going to pull the nose away and muck you out with my hip. Okay? That was the move. So I don't know if you know this about me. I'm a really good can dancer. Can you do the can? Okay? There's a difference between that and if I were to go from here and go, that's an attack. That's not so fair. But if you come in my space, okay, you might run into random accidents moves, okay, as we jokingly call it, and that caused discomfort, hot lava. Don't run into me, okay? Same now, we've done enough runs, the horse goes, I don't have to move. Just threw our head into that stick, okay? These are horses that pull back, they rear, they hit their head on the roof of the trailer, they do all sorts of yucky behaviors. It's all tied to the same thing. So what we're doing is, see now, the stick starts to come and the next got ready to go down. There, see it? We've changed the mind now, and the mind is thinking down. Look at the difference in the neck, which means the abs are going to come up, the back will lift, the hip will have room to come under. Okay? So all of this starts with just, can we get the mind to acknowledge thoughtfully, act like a partner, there we go, and it's with a really sensitive spot, the nose. Okay, the nose and the mind, same thing. So without having to do a bunch of stuff with the feet, we can change the mind. Okay, the weight of the feet is through the mind. That's contrary to what some people will tell you. The weight of the mind is through the feet. 300 million hindquarter yield, circle, circle, circle. It's still not fixed, okay? The way to the mind is through the mind, and it's the nose. There. So now we're having a conversation with the mind, and it's soft.
Sorry to interrupt your video, but really quick, we want to make sure that you know all the juicy content, step-by-step how-to training guides, that's over on Patreon. So if you want, there's a 4-part trailer loading video series, that's on Patreon. You want the 7-part lead chain series, that's on Patreon. So get over there, get signed up, join us there, and let's get back to this video.
I can just shake the little fairy. Now, this stick, okay, I'm fluttering it so the camera can see, so you can see, it is fragile. That is hollow. I could just snap this like a twig, okay? You cannot whack the crap out of a horse with this stick. It will just break, okay? Versus a carrot stick, a training stick, very common natural horsemanship tool. You can welt the crap out of one with that stick because it's so stiff and heavy, okay? You couldn't do that. You can't force a horse with this kind of stick. Now, this kind of stick is helpful because it's very precise, okay? It's straight, it's long. This is the 9-foot version. And I can put this exactly where I want it with great precision, okay? And then I can use that little fairy on the end to kind of tickle their brain. And now we've got a lot of head down. Okay? And then licking and chewing. And not just kind of licking and chewing. The mouth is open. I can see the tongue. It's not, it's blah, blah. Okay? Which is showing of more letting go. So that was simple. That was quick. But it told of a spot. Okay? What's nice is because it was simple and it was quick, it's telling of previous training being of quality because the horse learned to think. We didn't have a big fight. We just had a little resistance of a spot that we hadn't won enough yet. But because the horse already is trying, that's the previous training, yay, go team, it was easy to go, oh, I got it. Okay, we didn't like running into pressure, but that's a horse thing to do, is try. I don't know you, maybe I can push on you. That sucked, bad idea. And I smile and go, that's whatever you want to try. So now that we have some soft easy where I can say, you put your head down, then we've looked at, I've kind of flirted with, I've made a little game. 1, 2, 3, don't make me shush the noggin. So now it's just happening around the horse's bubble, and the horse is going, nah, you don't need to shush me. I would like to be like this, please. Okay? So winning. Because I don't know this horse, I'm going to kind of do a quick version of my bare minimum groundwork. So notice the hip pushed into the stick. I put the stick here, the hip went that way into the stick instead of the front end going that way. Okay? So I said, no, I saw you do that. Okay? It's like the kid and you're like, no more of this thing. And they're like, they do it anyway and they think you don't see. I saw you. Not my problem. Now you're the one suffering the consequence. Okay? True story. Last night. Time to get ready for bed, Johnny. What was that? It sounded like you said you wanted no iPad tomorrow. Sounds great to me. No pad tomorrow. You picked. I told you it was going to happen. I wasn't kidding. Have better manners. Sorry, Daddy. Yeah. You'll make better choices next time. That makes sense? I'm not begging. I'm not being unaware. And I don't have to make it a fight. And that's that part, like when we push down on me over here. I don't have to make it a fight, but you came in here. So you'll run into me as hard as you push. That's up to you. And that's where a lot of people can fall short when we're doing the training thing, is the horse has a resistance of 5 units of resistance, right? It's a made up number, okay? And we don't want to do 5 because doing that amount's not fun. And so we want to do 1 or 2. I'm sorry, but 1 or 2 does not yield 5. 6 yields 5. 5 stops 5, but it doesn't yield it. It only stops it. So to yield, you have to do a 6. You won by 1. Now, if you stop a 5 with a 10, you're probably going to scare them because you gave them 5. That means you overdid the pressure by 4 units. Okay, so and that's the game, is learning. This is, I call it horse trainer math, is we've got to learn how to feel the amount of resistance, match it, add 1. Okay, now that was figuring out the puzzle over here. I had to feel the amount it was, get to the number. So say it was a 5 and I gave it a 6 quickly. That's why it got over with quick and we didn't try it again. Now this, what happened is I said, could you please think to your right? The hip went, the nose and neck went, I'm thinking to the right, while the hip was like, yeah, right, I'm pushing into you. I'm going left. Okay, I saw it. So my 1 was met with a 1. Okay, so now I know the game. You're going to match me. So what do I do the next time? Do I go to 2? No, because they're going to match me at 2. So then I got to do a 3 and they're going to do a 3. And we're going to be at 10 and 10. I'm sorry, but YouTube and you do not want to watch me give your horse a 10. Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to do that. So what did I do? 3. Horse went to 2 and went, crap, you outgamed me. I win by 1. Okay? I don't know if you know this. There's a guy on YouTube called Mark Rober. My son taught me this from watching YouTube. Okay? He made a machine. The NASA guy, right? Mark Rober, okay? Engineer. He made a robot that never loses at rock, paper, scissors. And what they did is they studied people playing rock, paper, scissors and figured out most people have a routine and they go paper, rock, scissors. Like there's a way that we naturally want to do that. Okay? Well, they figured that out and they just swapped. And so the robot naturally reads, if you did this, your next one is probably this. It's going to know that and it does the opposite pattern. Okay? And that's trainer science. Like, how do we win the game? Because it's just a game. And so if I read the horse and go, okay, I give a 1 and you give a 1, I'm not going to 2, I'm going to go to 3 because you're going to be ready for me to go to 2. So you're probably going to do 2 to try to match me. So when I outgamed you, I did 3, you did 2, I win. Okay? Once we have won the game of who's going to yield who, now see, it's much a different look. I'm asking softly, the horse goes, you know, you're smart. Because you don't know. He's like, I don't know you. Why should I be nice for you? Nose, neck, shoulder. Notice the hip never moved. Okay? So these are little things that I can read the horse and say, I see you. I saw you do that. You can't outgame me. And with my awareness and then the way that I converse it, versus if I pick a fight and go, I saw you do that. Don't talk to me that way. Now I'm picking a fight back. Okay? That's not helpful. But if I can go, I saw you do that. Busted. I saw you. Ha-ha. Can't trick me. It's playful in nature. Okay, so we have some form of walk, trot, canter without bucking or dumb stuff. But that's a lot of energy for minimal cantering. Okay, I should cluck, cluck. Horse should be here and canter on this circle. Okay, so that's just notes. If I want this horse to be better at cantering, hashtag shameless plug, we're doing a whole canter series over on Patreon. Okay, these are the little things that I can read that if I want my horse better at cantering, I can take care of in this groundwork to build them up. Okay? Nope. First thing that goes out the window when crap hits the fan is verbal cues. So they're the last thing I teach a horse. I see a lot of people think they're Santa Claus. Okay? How? And nothing is happening. You are wasting your time and you're teaching that horse. You are dumb. You don't know what you're doing. You should not be respected, appreciated, okay, or followed as a leader. The other joke, which is less appropriate, is hoes are for 2 things. They're both dirty jobs. One of them is gardening. I'll let you think of the other. Okay? But that's a nice joke, so I won't say that one. Okay? So we're having some form, but I would switch. Like this horse needs a string on the stiffer stick and a spank on the butt. Like, don't make me do that. We don't need to do that right now because that's not a massive part of the problem. Okay? That's not a massive part of the problem. The biggest problem is the game of reading and knowing how to do. Like, see, now we have thoughtful stuff with that. Like, that's more important of a change than the horse being great at cantering. Now, if we were bucking, sucking backward, and doing that, that's a different conversation. Okay? Now, horse burpees. This is the super secret move that helps the most, especially with rearing horses. Most people have seen this done like this behind the butt. Okay? That's pretty heavy. Okay? That's pretty heavy. So I might do a few rounds there. And the reason why is it starts a pattern. Okay? 4 areas of development. Confidence, yielding, patterns, and purpose. Confidence, yielding, patterns, and purpose. So this is confidence to have the rope there. Yield off the rope, okay? But I can create a pattern of, we're doing this little turnaround move, okay? So that was much better. Next spot I could go behind the saddle. This is a tighter angle in towards the neck, which creates them feeling wadded up and blocked up here, okay? Behind the butt, it's a very wide angle. It's out here. We're here. Then next we're going to go to behind the horn. So, okay, we have all about the AIDS video series. We would call this 2, 1, 0, -1, -2 on this side of the horse for that right rein. Okay, so that hip would be like position 2. 1, 0 would be up here by the horn. Okay, of how wide I'm going to take my hand. So I'm going to block the nose and say, hey, you could have turned your hip a little more. That's also why I shushed the butt. Said, hey, you could have moved a little more. But see, we're slow in the blink, the little side to side, and then the head down. This is all telling of a lot going on in here. And if I miss that read, I would say you're being resistant versus introverted. That would make a not good fight and makes me a bad leader, and the horse go, I knew you didn't frickin' know, you suck. Versus if I read that, and then the lick and chew happened right when I'm like, aha, I hear you. She go, you're thoughtful. You hear me. Okay? Depending on what you're into, all of a sudden you're like, polyvagal theory. Okay? Much better. So by giving that time to process, this happened, that. Oh, then it was much better. Okay? So now we get it even harder, but we've built up a pattern of how we've done it. So when I go here behind the horn, it makes them feel very blocked up and they feel way more backwards than they do right or left. See how we get this sucked back? This is the spot where it really helps them get better yielding and have way less rearing. Okay, we have 4 areas. The question was, can I just list the 4 areas of development? Confidence, yielding, patterns, purpose. Hashtag, there's a whole theory playlist on YouTube that has all of this stuff on there. Okay, there's a whole playlist that's got all this stuff on there. So see how the head goes up at pressure on the face and feeling that tight. But now the rope isn't telling the hip to move. If we only do it behind the butt, the rope tells the butt to move. This is talking only to the nose in a way that very much makes them feel wadded up and why the head goes in the air. Okay? When it finally gives, it goes from the nose all the way through the body to the hip. So it really makes a change and gets some throughness happening. You could see if I just pulled really hard, I could flip that horse over. Okay? We should be able to see that. So when doing this, a lot of times when I teach this, I teach it without the saddle. So you can't just pull harder. There's a whole playlist, bare minimum groundwork, where we go over these things. And I'm going to teach it more from here. I'm going to slap the neck and go, move. Then when the horse gets going and the rope runs into it, so you never got a hard pull on the face. That makes sense? So you can teach a lot more sensitivity and the pattern without running into the hard pull that behind the horn gets. Now, I'll teach that first usually and then go to here. This hard pull where I can add some leverage to it, where I can just pull harder, really builds up commitment. Okay, it builds up commitment. When we're children, it's pennies and dollars. When we become adults, it's thousands and tens of thousands. When we're like successful, it's tens to hundreds or hundreds to millions or millions to, right? The numbers go up. There's a lot more on the line, and that takes a lot more commitment, okay? Because the pressure increases. So what we're finding there is that with the ability to get a little more pressure, that horse had to commit stronger to don't run into that, make that rope slack. Okay? And I've only done the one way to help with the pattern so we don't ever confuse the horse with having to figure out the different sides. Okay? So now that that's working okay, it's only okay. It's not fine, it's better than fine, but it's not great. Okay? There's fine, there's okay, there's good, there's great, there's wonderful, and there's effing amazing. That chin should bury itself in the chest or on the point of the shoulder and then go around there. Okay? But for the first time, that's a great change. I'm not going to pick hard on that because that starts to make me not so fun. The horse goes, I knew you were a bad deal. Versus now it's like, oh, you're not so bad. Like, I didn't need to do that. That was a little hard, but I don't hate you. Okay? Hi. I know. Okay? And where we would start to go with that is I'd go here and I'd go ready, set, gotcha. And I could start to put a little more oomph into it. It made it harder, so the horse is going to have to commit and get more ready sooner. You'll see a lot more lateral flexion as well as the beginning of vertical. So there's right flexion and there's right and up. Okay? And that's when the chin starts coming to the point of the shoulder. And we'll look at that when I'm in the saddle as well. Harder, 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 harder. Because I'm looking, can I get you in trouble? Can I get you in a bind? Can I get you to do something dumb? And horse like, you can't make me do dumb stuff. Like, we're trying really hard to not get in trouble. So I mostly need to get off of that on that side and just reward. I'm spending more time rubbing. I found the scratchy spot. She's like, yes. Oh, scratching my face. Okay? That helps endear the horse to me. So now, I could start back behind the butt. I personally don't feel like I need to do that. I'm capable of managing all of this from this position. Okay? But I pointed out the importance of using a pattern to help make it easier for the horse, okay, by starting back there. There. A lot more flexion that way. Okay? So I would just release here. I'd go, I love what you're doing. And then I might go, by the way, you could move your feet. You could move your feet. So I would release. At least I would have a 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath. And then, by the way, you could move. Okay? And it's not pull your nose away. It's not pull your nose in the air. It's yield the hip. See, we're just pulling our head away. So I'm slipping. You should see me slipping and sliding on this rope. That's not having a hard pull. Okay? Because that would just flip the horse over. There. There you go. And see, when we finish, the release is head down. That's telling of the quality of pressure and release. Good. So the bump with the stick just said, you could have finished turning. You could have finished. You're late. That's another way of, not you're bad, just, hey, you're late. You could have finished that turn. There's a perfect amount of timing there. Okay, so when I teach this, there's a timing. Okay, so if we refer to the cute Disney movie Big Hero 6, the nurse robot, and they fist bump, da-da-da-da-da. That's the sound effect. Ready, steady, go. Da-da-da-da-da. You're late. You're late. And I know it's late because I've done this that many times to know that's the sound effect. When you say it that way, it's the perfect timing. Okay? So now, One of my teachers had a saying, prove me right or prove me wrong. Da-da-da-da-da-da. See it? That was a good go, and it was fit within that timing. And that last little bit of the turn, I just moved softly over and go, hey, see now, there was a goal. You needed to make that turn so I could scratch your face. Not, you need to make that turn or I'm going to whack your butt. Okay, was that there? Yeah, it was. But if we focus on that, we're focusing on the negative versus this is the reward. Like, yeah, hot lava happens, but do the work, have the effort, because the good stuff happens. Okay? Go. Da-da-da-da-da. See how we're late? So I could put a little, hey, you were late. It's a consistent sound effect. So it's a consistent timing. So it's not, well, I think you were late. Da-da-da-da-da. See, there's a little hustle the feet could have done. I'll just block to the nose and I hurried the hip a little bit. There. Ready? Go. Da-da-da-da-da. There, see? The timing was better. All right. I like it. Now, the other parts of our bare minimum groundwork would be the sideways, relax with the head down, and backing. The sideways, yes, it will help, but I have the feel I need on the face, and I know it. And to not make the video about the same bare minimum that we've made, how many videos in the thing, like I am confident to move on. But I'm the one that's got to roll the dice, and it's either I was right or I was wrong. Okay? So we're going to put a bridle on here. So they showed me the bridle they've been riding in. It's Mylar snaffle 3-piece with a nice roller with a copper inlay. I have the same bridle. What I'm going to go with instead is a 2-piece. Okay, this is a Jeremiah Watt loose ring 2-piece snaffle, sweet iron with the copper inlay in the bit. The reason I would pick this is it can scissor down. The 3-piece cannot. This can be cause more commitment because it can cause more pressure. So we got to know that. And so I will purposefully and thoughtfully choose this to go, I'm going to sign you up. Okay, we'll steal a line from Ryan. We'll sign you up. It could be worse. So you need to learn, don't run into that because you're kind of making some choices that aren't so good. Now, that mindset of we'll just get a tougher bit is a dangerous, slippery slope. Okay, we need to acknowledge that that is where people can then take that idea and now it's just harsher and harsher and harsher. We don't like that. We don't like it being about harsher and harsher. And this snaffle is meant to have a 1-to-1 ratio of pressure. So I put 1 unit of pressure, horse feels 1 unit versus a leverage bit multiplies it. Okay. And a leverage bit is helpful because it adds curb pressure and it adds behind the ear pressure. And then I can do less and get more. And so once they are educated and going good, it amplifies whatever I've got. So it'll either amplify yuck or it'll amplify the good stuff and allow me to ride quieter and quieter. But I'm usually not going to that if things are not going great. Okay? A little bit of a leverage bit and that different kind of pressure to help this horse learn head down might be a good answer. Okay? And that's something that we can consider in the future. But for where we're at and first time of getting to know this horse, I'm going to stick with something that's close to what we've had, but has the potential of a little bit more hot lava or discomfort, pressure, however you want to call it. Now notice that's left, and that was more left. There was not any up. So I want to have left and up, where the chin bobs to the shoulder, and it looks like that. Okay, so I'm just holding my hand. I've got my fingers indexed on the point of the shoulder. That way I know I'm not pulling, and the horse will release itself. It's not my job to release the rein. It's the horse's job to release itself. This is telling on that we've been in charge of the release, not the horse, that it's taking this long. Okay? Now, by putting my hand on the point of the shoulder, it's a straight line from nose through the rein. There's the little flexion, little bit to the shoulder. So I went, good job. Now, it wasn't a good enough up. How can I tell? Down didn't happen after. Okay? That's okay. It doesn't have to happen on the first one. We're starting the idea. So now if I lift more up, see how that changed it and it brought it more up? And when I released, the head started to sag down a little bit. I got that not by pulling, by lifting. So I lifted. If I continue this line, it goes up, 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 up. And if I give and the nose doesn't go down, I can re-engage and stay in the game until I get a good enough up that when I release that, the head goes down. And if it's not there, I'll just get back in the game. So that when this goes, the nose should follow the weight of the rein and the bit, that when I put that down, that's better. Now the tip of the ears is below the withers. Okay? Now, for all you keyboard warriors out there, yes, if the nose gets below the knee, the weight goes on the forehand. Get a life. That's not what we're fixing right now. We're fixing forward and down with the nose and the neck. We'll worry about the weight. I'm doing mind flexion. Fix the mind, the rest will get in there. Okay? So, not noting that. We're just not prioritizing that right now. There's a good up. I like that we're not rushing and pulling the head away. We have a very sleepy eye. And I'm just going to kind of stay quiet here. And if I did a little bit, where am I at? There's better. There's a kind of sigh. And then I can see this rein is starting to be in the way of it going any lower. Okay, I got to learn to read that. That's where a lot of people make a mess, is they're doing too much with the outside rein. Nice. Okay, so I don't need to do that from here, but it's something, it's an easy way to show it, and it's a great way for people to practice. Okay, because it's something easy, simple you can do from the ground. So I could get and do it on the other side. I'm not feeling fretted about that. I'm gonna check my cinch and work on that from the saddle. So I want to make sure that we're kind of ready for me to pull on before I step up. Halfway, rub, sit down. Now I like to be able to, I got lots of practice. My wife tells me rub my back all the time, and so I'm pretty good at the massage thing. If I can squeeze and massage that neck, just like that spot on her shoulder, there she is holding the camera, okay? That helps that relax. Oh yeah. 4 fingers widths behind the ears. There's a spot right there. Then there's one right there. Then there's one right there. Okay? And there's these little dents in the muscling there. It's acupressure points along the bladder meridian, and our fingers just fit right in there. And they're great little spots to help sensitize the horse to this, and it's a little check I can do. That was something I taught Chick Maynard with the colt starting to win road to the horse. It's like he could sit up here and squeeze on that neck till it relaxed and know where he's at. Because if the horse is pushing into it, you're maybe in trouble. Okay? And I can do it from the ground, and then it just gets to way up here. The more I can get that nose to stay down there, the more relaxation I am set up to have kind of winning. Okay? So now, notice the difference in that tension. Where's the rein going? Up, 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 up. It's lifting, not pulling. It's not pulling here. Okay? So I lift on that. Now I have left and up. The chin came to the point of the shoulder. When I release it, notice it goes forward and down. See how the neck wants to pull back? There's a better look. That's right. And then there's up. The chin came toward the point of the shoulder. And as I slowly release that, where does it go? Not down all the way. It didn't pull up, but I might re-engage to make sure I can condition the weight of the reins to mean something, so that when I slip that rein, there was a little look, that when I slip that rein, there we go, that neck starts to drop, okay? This is where when you watch me ride and then they're going nice is I'll lift from here. And it's just a pay attention, okay? It's a signal. And so I'm gonna lift more, and say, if your head is up, I'm gonna pick up the reins. There. So the head doesn't like being up there. And the chin wants to come down and in, an appropriate up this way, up following the reins. I'm doing a little squeeze with my legs. There we go. Okay, you want my hand to go down? Put your head down. There. So now when I pick up, your chin comes up to me. So we did it left and right and then up. Now I just did it straight, back and up. That looks just like I'm preparing a horse to do the back up. Okay, back and up look the same with the nose and the neck. Now it's just a matter of what do the feet do. There. Okay, so I'm going to keep the reins taut and I'm going to keep lifting them up. I have a little squeeze here with my legs to help hold the horse a little bit forward till the chin wants to go forward and down. Okay, there. Now, notice how I set up the conversation about the leverage bit. That way that leverage rotates, pivots, does a squeeze under the chin and down behind the ears can make this easier. But I would want it working in a hackamore or in the halter and in a snaffle before I went to that. Okay, so this is just telling me we could ride this horse in a little leverage bit and it would be fine. Okay. Now, just this little bit of fiddling, I'm working on the different directions. There's forward and down. We did back and up. We did right and left. Okay, and stand still. There's a nice deep breath. Okay, so I did all the directions with the nose and the neck at the standstill before I went anywhere. And that's something that's a great thing to practice, and it makes this horse kind of realize I'm not going to jump on and hi-ya and rush off, which adds a lot of tension and worry. Okay, so now I'm going to get the feet ready to go. See how I got the mind flexion? We're thinking right over here. We don't think up in the air. We think forward with the nose and the neck, and then I squeeze to walk off. I don't walk the feet off if I don't have the nose and the neck ready to the best of my ability. So I can take my fiddling that I did with this and prepare to go somewhere there by getting these little bits of flexion sorted out there, and then the feet. Now, in the intro, I talked about how they said they got a martingale, and that helped get the head down and in. And that because of the way the rings, the martingale is a string, it comes up to here. When you lift here, it puts direct pressure down on the face. It would be like this. Okay? But that's really awkward to ride like that. Okay? That's why we find tools that can help us with that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. That's just working on direct pressure. There, see? Wide hands and down feel. I talked about 2, 1, 0 in our rein positions. Let's get straight on at the camera so you guys see that. Okay. 2, 1, 0. -1, -2 with that right rein. Okay. Dressage people cry and freak out. Don't cross the neck. They cross the neck too. They just would rather us not. So I can put direct pressure wide and down to help draw that head and neck down. Okay, that's a skill we can learn from watching the Western pleasure people. Lots of spurring and like this. Okay, that's how one way they try to get the heads down. It works. Look, it works. That's direct pressure. This is a signal. Thumbs up is a signal for A-OK. Does that make sense? Well, if I just go, you go, Jake, how are you? And I go, hey. It's a signal for I'm good, I'm really good. Versus, right? You do, I'm A-OK. Or if you do sign language, it's a different meaning, right? We get off in. Exactly. It's a signal. It's a signal to, you ought to be getting your head down. But see, it's not direct. I can't force her head down by lifting up, but it's a signal, and it's convenient for the rider because now I'm not pulling, I'm just lifting. Okay. So now you saw me jiggle it. Let's talk about that. I have a whole series, head down, 3-part series over on Patreon. Okay. Head down. We talked about direct pressure, the lift move to signal it. That can progress to now a little bit of rhythm. Okay. The Parelli program taught this. They called it a jingle bell rein. Jingle bells is okay to sing while you're riding around. I like the Beach Boys a little bit better. There's a reason I live in Florida, is the beach. Bob, 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 the rain. Bob, 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 the rain. Okay? Up, 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 be up. With that rain, it becomes a signal. Hello, anybody in there? McFly, anybody in there, McFly? Okay, so I want to signal. How are we doing? Okay, that was Back to the Future for you guys that missed it. Just make sure we're tracking here. Okay, so I can start to signal. That adds a little bit of droop, and that's when we transition. That's a skill that we would learn if we really studied hackamore riding into spade bits and bridle horses. That's where I learned to do that. Okay, and it'll work in a snaffle as well. That's the slobber strap bridles that you see a lot of natural horsemanship people use. That it's a weight. You shake the weight. See, I'm shaking the weight of the rein. It's jiggling the bit a little bit, but it's not going. That's where people, misconstrue that. They saw a really good horse guy shake the rein. They go, oh, just jerk him in the face. That'll get him soft. And it got off in the weeds. Okay. So we want to be able to have that steady lift to get the attention. Okay. And then eventually we can start getting a little float. There we go. And the reins stay floaty and the neck stays there. Okay. So now we learned a whole bunch of ways to prep the neck. And then I'll squeeze with my legs to say, let's move. Now, we're a little bit sticky. We knew we would be because we saw how the canter was a little bit hard. I'm going to only do more leg on the inside leg impulses. Okay. So I just lined up so the camera could see my right leg going bump, bump, bump. See how we got crabby ear? Don't do that to me. Well, don't lean. Little bump, bump, bump. We pushed in. We already knew that was going to happen by how our groundwork started. That make sense? So we just got to do a little bit of work here on, hey, this means soften up. Notice it was a change. Little bump, bump, and we kind of got our chin down and in. There. And then if I just do that right foot, okay, when we're driving and the person in front of us isn't going and they don't hear us clucking, we say, it's the one on the right. Okay? Vroom, vroom. Watch my leg. Vroom, 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 vroom. And then I can do this. Okay? So why is that happening? It's mental resistance to the forward. We're mentally not going forward. So what did we learn? Get the mind to go more forward by putting the head and neck down. So I need now this bump, bump cue, little spur tickle in the ribs to cause the head to go down. And I can use there my rein there to help that. Okay? Now, I also need to get these shoulders. Hey, your shoulders. No, thank you. Here. No. There. See it? The right front stepped across and out. Inside leg to outside rein. There we go. Good job. I saw you. Just like I caught the little thing and I went, I saw you. I saw you. I noticed. I can see the eyelashes here, blinking and blinking. There it goes. Okay. So it was, wheels were spinning. Then it started to come all the way through the body. And then we had a little breath. So now let's see. Ready? Oh, would you look at that? I saw you. Now, if you don't want to use your leg and bump, get a stick. Whatever you need to do to feel good about yourself, that's fine. I can slap my own leg. I can slap. There, see? Now, just like I did, shush, 1, 2, 3, don't make me shush your noggin. Pressure creates this, which is towards relaxation. If So I can go mind flexion, feet. Good job. So this is saying, hey, inside out. There was a little step with the right front leg. Now, the burpees help with this. I'm blocking with the rein here till the inside leg pushes her out and around. Notice we want to throw the shoulder into the leg, be stiff with the neck, counter bent. Okay, so I need to tickle, tickle, tickle. Okay, till we get bent around there. There. It's the same as when we are half asleep and we have to go to the bathroom, and so we're not stood up straight yet, and we kick the bathroom door and cuss and break our little toe. You didn't get out and around the door frame, therefore you ran into the side. Her running into my spur is the same thing. You got to get out and around the inside leg. Okay, so I'm going to bump, bump, bump here with that leg and spur. Okay, my spurs are very dull. Okay, they're almost smooth on the rowel. So they're very there. Simple, and it allows me to use them to bump a little bit and have them learn to understand that versus it be about ow, ow, ow. Okay. There. I saw you. There, thank you. Out and around. And notice I'm just working on the one side. Yeah, out and around. Nuh-uh. There, out and around. There, out and around. So if you've watched any of my other series of the problems horses, a lot of those guys, we do tie the head around. Okay, and I use the lead rope and it goes behind the seat and then off to the horn. That is the byproduct. One, they learn they can't pull their head away and they just are pulling on themselves, so it's a perfect release when they release themselves. Two, they learn this move. They got to step out and around to give themselves room to not have that rein taut. And then I can come with the stick in my body position and step into them in my groundwork, or then they step out and around there like that. So now my inside leg is talking to the right hind to the left front, diagonal pair. There. But see, that shoulder came in, so I can go, hey, I saw you do that. So this would be riding around my barrel, 60 turns around a barrel series. This is in the all about the aids, learning what the legs mean. This is in my lateral work series, learning all the lateral and the diagonal pairs. Okay, I talk about this stuff in lots of different spaces there. That was beautiful. Thank you. So now the right leg is communicating appropriately. Inside leg driving to the outside rein. I'm not catching with the outside rein yet. We're not ready for that. That'll cause a block of forward, trap us, and get us back to where we were. So now we're going to change the mind to think over here, and I'll start driving the left leg a little bit. That was gorgeous. Great job. There, thank you. So this is when I teach colt starting. It's going and woeing, tipping the nose and the neck, serpentine circles, straight lines. That's the natural order of how the riding stuff goes. So I'm doing going and woeing. I'm getting little bits of tipping the nose and the neck. So I'm tipping it left and up, straight and down, back and up. All that's me tipping the nose and the neck. Okay, you saw me do my first touch of the outside rein. I didn't talk about it, I did it. Now let's point it out. I caught here and I said, there. I'll do it so the camera can see easier. I caught that outside rein. See how that drew the head down and back? Okay? Sure. That's my outside rein. With my arm straight and I'm pushing down, see how that lowered the head from the withers? When we ride with bent elbows, it breaks them at the pole, but makes the head go in the air when we're here. Okay? Now, we got good patterns going, so let's not screw that up, but that's breaking at the withers and getting them to come over the top line comes from straight elbows. When your elbows are straight, you're using your chest, your triceps, and your shoulders. Those are all pushing muscles. When your elbows are bent, you're using your biceps and your back. Those are pulling muscles. We do pull-ups, okay? Pull the weight up, curls, versus push-ups, presses. So we got to use our pushing muscles. Horses don't like being pulled on. So I can push that rein down there to help lower that head. Okay, but that's only because we had the left flexion and we were getting off the inside leg. So I can start catching with that outside rein a little bit inside leg, there it goes. Now outside rein, there's a little bit, okay? Technically, I just did a leg yield, okay? So I'm doing my first leg yields here. We're already doing dressage. So the flexion is left, the travel is this way, left hind to right front. That cleared that space so I can release that. I need you to go forward. See how she chose to turn? I didn't pull her. My hand was fixed here. She chose to turn. Now I can go, by the way, get going there, and then change the flexion to the right. This needs a little bit more work. There it goes. The right leg yield needs a little more work. There we go. There we go. As these shoulders free up a little bit more, the forward will free up a little better. There we go. There we go. There we go. See, as that shoulders got more out, there was almost trotting with way less pressure. That's just the toe is down, the spur is tickling, but I'm not bumping. There. No. 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 You can't dive in there. I'm sorry. That leg is there. That leg is there. Thank you. And by the way, we're walking. So more spanking, less kicking. Here. That way my hands and legs can just kind of do shaping. The spanker can do the forward. Oh, careful. Oh, you rear, I might fall and accidentally bump you. I'm a bad rider. The timing's got to be really good when we do that. Otherwise, if they rear and you go, oh my God, you stupid horsey, that's a after the fact. Versus in the middle, there. Now, dive in there. Move out and around. Move out and around. Thank you. Move out. Thank you, like that. And by the way, we're walking. Thank you, like that. Now you can have a break. That was 2 in a row. That make sense? Okay? You can do dumb stuff. Whoa, I'm a bad rider. I know. You got to take care of me. I'm just a crappy cowboy. So we're going to work on our forward. Careful. 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 There. There we go. There we go. There. That was a good up. It didn't get a lot of down. There's the better down. But the horse chose to turn over there, so I released. So I could just come this other way. So I'll start getting some serpentines. And I needed to move to the trot to keep it interesting for the horse. Okay? She's getting bored of me yakking at your guys' pace to see and catch up. She needed me to work at her pace. And faster. If I can work faster than her mind, I'm awesome. If I'm going that slow and she's thinking she's gaining ground by getting, well, you're going to do this, then I'm going to do that, I need to stay 5 steps ahead of her. That's how she goes, oh my God, you're amazing. You're so smart. See, and by that little bit, now she's blowing out. Okay? And that's just learning to work at the horse's pace. So we have mind flexion, but I want the feet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 1, 2, 3. Slow, but that's the beginning of a rhythm. So the dressage training scale tells us rhythm, relaxation, contact, impulsion, straightness, collection. Okay? I worked on responsiveness before I worked on rhythm. Response is 1, rhythm is 2s and 3s. Okay? So I looked for a 3. 1, 2, 3. That's some rhythm in our forward, which is much different than what we've been having. I've been having to bump, bump, bump to get a lot. So getting that trot kind of helped free that up. See how that's just a response? That's just a response. 1, 2, 3. It's almost a decent rhythm. Almost. It's not great, but that's a start. Different than that's some rhythm. Effort. I didn't not release on the response, but I looked for the next thing. I acknowledge, I see you, good work, keep going. Okay, reward the slightest try is only one time. The slightest try is not the slightest try the next time. It's the same old thing. There. One. 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 1, 2, 3. Thank you. I'm just doing my driving on the inside. Drive the inside out. There now, and I'll just flirt with some tipping of the nose and neck at the trot. Go. Thank you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, up, up. No, thank you. That's thank you. You're diving in. Look out, my leg is there. Look out, my leg is there. Thank you. That was a nice little slide out. But we're trotting. But we're trotting. But we're trotting. Thank you. Simon said we're trotting. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 3, 2, 1. 1. Nope. Good try. But not it. 1. Nope. 1. Nope. Nope. 1. Nope. Nose, neck. Well, you got to find your way. It's not the slightest try anymore. It's not. You can't trick me. It's not the slightest try anymore. Thank you. I can release on nose, neck, but we're not done. 1. Little rhythm with my leg to say, hey, wake up. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. So going and woeing. Exaggerating the backup. 1, 2, 3. It was mediocre, but it was better effort and on the first go. So I'm gonna take it. I can acknowledge that was okay. It wasn't good. It wasn't great. It wasn't FNA, but that was better than fine. It was better than, no. 1. Hey. Hey. 1. No. Try again. No. Try again. Try again. Try again. 1, 2, 3. Good one. 4 and 5. Okay? Now notice I'm pushing my hands. That's how you can tell I'm not pulling back. Okay? Watch my hands again. Watch my hands come to my thighs and my weight is drawing back. So I'm drawing my whole being and then I can do a little life with my legs. But if she gets back there, the reins start to get slack. Okay? Then my legs can say, hey, move your feet. And I'm still only doing that one leg, this one. And it's just to get there. See how there was acknowledgement? Okay. By the way, your feet. You got to unstick your feet, child. 1. Yes, 1, 2. Well, almost made it. 1, 2, 1. Almost. Yeah, keep it up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Not quite. We need to be flirting with 3s and 4s. Hey, hey, thank you. I just drew on one rein. One rein is active at a time. One leg is active at a time. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, almost. That was more turning with the front end than it was backing. 1, 2, 3, almost. 1, 2, almost. There. There. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, we just lost our balance and we fell backwards. There. 1, 2, come on. 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? If we're not counting and we're not keeping track of those little whooshes, we're not releasing in a progressive manner. So we're just teaching them to do less versus they should be doing more. They need to get me to do less. So I'll just get short and I'm just drawing. My arms are straight. 2, come on. Come on. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm happy with that kind of 5. I don't need to push past that, okay, for today. But what we're doing is we're getting a little more commitment And we're making it past that brace. Beautiful. That was such a perfect from 0 to 1. I'm going to go, I was amazing. I don't care about everything else. That was such great effort. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, let's talk about, I've been going to 5. How many ways are there to get to 5? Horse trainer math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one way. You can go from 0 to 5. Okay? I can go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. I can go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That make sense? A lot of ways I can get to 5. So that 1, and then 1, and then 1, and then 1, that looked like 5, but it was 5 good ones. There was one kind of crappy one in there where our head came up. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. So now, if we're watching less than 30 seconds ago, oh God, Jake Birnbaum's horrible. He's pulling on the reins. I can't believe this man. Shut your mouth. Does that make sense? We have to get past, okay? If you're making brownies and you mix it up, it looks like baby poop. Brownie batter looks like diarrhea before you bake it, okay? Sometimes things look crappy before they look yummy. We have to get comfortable with that. We have to get comfortable with that. Horse was already distressed before we started, so now we're learning distress isn't saving us. So figure out how to act like a partner. Beautiful work. That was beautiful work. And that acting like a partner's what's get the effort. Yes, sir. How can I, be of service is getting us somewhere. There, nose, neck. A little bit of left leg. A little bit of left leg. Line it up. Good. Now, vroom, vroom, vroom. Thank you. Reins came on a little bit to help the nose and neck. Reins come on a little bit to help the nose and neck. Reins come on a little bit to help the nose and neck. Don't push in there, please. That leg is there. Reins. Go. I need you to go and fix that. Then this one can draw that nose and neck. Help draw the shoulders out there on the circle. One active rein. Okay? That helps me stay in a position to help kind of hold things together. Yes, I saw what you did, and I loved it. Now, I wanted to flirt with that just for a look so we could see. We didn't fling our head. We moved our feet, and we tried to jump at a minimal amount of pressure and effort. There. And I go, I saw you. By working on that back up, by approaching and retreating more forward, and by getting the consistency of the gaze. I saw you. You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you. There, no nice. Oh. Careful. You might bump me. Drop in. Careful. Careful. Good effort. Right. Great. I saw what you did. That was really thoughtful of you. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now, by not hanging on the face, what did we see? The stick doesn't work. The spanker on the butt. Now it does matter what I left on the ground matters. Okay, because now I'm running the same thing. I can fix it up here, but I know I'm rolling the dice on I'm going to get that. So I either go, or I go, whoop, whoop, all in one move. That was weird.
So you're just pulling, will you like edit what you're, I mean, she can't get her to repeat that. When she, up rear, whatever that was.
Yeah, it was a butt kick out. I don't like it, you spank my butt. I don't like that.
And you just pulled her head to the right?
No, when she jumped and did, she kind of jumped through her head and kicked out. When she did that, as the head went down, this rein went to just go, huh. Okay?
there's a move that I do when I'm teaching liberty. Okay, horse is going around the round pen like this. I put pressure way out in front. They go. Thank you. They turn away from me. Okay. When they do that, I meet them on the other side with a stick. So it's like the universe has smacked them in the mouth. So if I'm facing you and I go, "You're stupid, I hate you," and I go to turn away from you, whoa. The universe just did that. Now, if I go like this, and then you run over here and go, "You're a jerk, don't talk to me," like that's an attack. It's too late. The timing is off. Back to, if she did that and I go, "Oh God, God, Mark, you stupid Mark." I'm a jerk. I just jerked on. That's not, the timing is very poor. But if I can, lots of practice and confidence, when they do that, if she throws her head and does, if I just go, "Whoa, weird." Okay, she ran herself into it. And I use the, I'm being cheeky. I'm just a bad rider. What happens when you're a bad rider? Bang them in the mouth and you do little things. They either get sour about it. If the timing's just right, they actually learn to keep your head down in it so you don't accidentally run into that. Okay? And so it was a consequence versus a punishment. Mm-hmm. And that's a timing.
Yeah, that's so there's the intuition involved in a lot of this is something I have a lot to learn.
There's a difference. That's why there's horse riders and horse trainers. Okay? And it's okay. All right. I don't want to keep picking. I feel really good about the progress we made. And I'm, in reality, like if this horse was in training, I would, I'd be sorting all this stuff up where I had a lot more trotting around here. And this was working a lot better. You see, a little bit, and it's like, now it's, don't make me pick my hands up. Your head is up, my hands go up. Your head goes down, my hands go down. Your head goes up, my hands go up. Your head goes down, my hands go down. Okay? Meanwhile, my inside leg's got to be pumping, not let her drop in here, dive in, and poke the ribs in there. And that helps pick the belly up. The burn belly, pick the belly up, drop the head, lift back. So it's a combination. It's like being a good cook. It's salt, pepper, garlic, heat, and oil. That's the answer. Yeah, well, thing you need to cook with just that. It's the perfect combination. There's no such thing as too much garlic, and then just right amount of salt, pepper. Okay? And so when she there, learn comfort is there. So the martingale is not a horrible tool for you guys to use it to help, but learning how to do this lift and work that inside leg there. Stay out and around. And see how that, like it looks like if I cued the canter now, I just there. I have set it down. But I had to work for 2.5 laps to get that going. Okay, so I just need to get to where drop is always like this. There. And that's just forward. I'd like to be able to have the trot where I got the neck way out here, like the shoulder's edge, and she just takes it there. Too much to ask. I can flirt with the idea and show you in this vicinity. But that's sequentially, I need it forward and down there first. Then I can do right to left. Allow her to be very straight there, like that. Diving in. See, now I'm not doing anything, I'm not doing anything, I'm not doing anything. Then I can take the gas off on this long time of me leaving her alone, which is just in essence going, "You're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing, you're amazing." That whole from there to there. All right. What did we learn? What did we learn?
Who's answering?
Yes. I teach the people.
Okay. I learned that I think that I need to learn steps 1A, B, C, D, and E before I have her ready to canter.
Okay, so we need to learn all the precursor steps building up to the canter.
Yeah. And all of the making sure she's set up correctly by me to be ready to move that way.
Sure, all the body parts are lined up and set up to move that way.
And starting from the beginning of the session to where we are now, I have to start running from the very beginning, the movement of the hip. And I mean, there's a lot that went into all of that I understand but cannot replicate myself as a rider.
So what we're saying is that there's a lot that we need to learn to understand, and awareness of the body parts and how do we set them up in positions and psychology to get that all to work, where being able to do that as a rider, she's understanding where she's lacking and sees what we have to work.
So yeah, baby steps.
Baby steps.
Which is fine. I got no time frame.
No time frame. All the things we all like to hear, right? No time frame. It's not about the goal.
I don't have a
Self-maturity, relationship for, and all that stuff is true. I can tease and poke, and people can get caught up in that stuff, and then they don't want to live through the ugly. But I live through the ugly, and that's where all the good stuff
You're
is.
going to get the gold at the end of the rainbow,
Right.
which is my goal.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll claw my way over the rainbow to top gold. If I think it's in there, you just have to tease it out, and I don't know enough to show her all that yet. I'll learn it. I think for me, it's very highlighting to have somebody else on a professional level ride her.
Yep.
You're the first person I've seen other than me or Carrie ride.
So we're saying the first person she's seen that a professional ride this horse and be able to see what's in there and what's possible.
I can ride her in just her halter and or the bridle or whatever, get pieces of this, but I don't ride her often. I ride her when we have the issue because we had previously worked through issues, and then they started to creep up. Well, we think she had ulcers ultimately.
Okay. So we're saying she can ride in the halter, in the bridle, and all they get pieces of this, but we're not riding as the trainer or kind of friend helper on the regular, and it's more you're riding because it's falling apart, not to just keep progressing, which is fine. That's a lot of times how it can go.
And she did come to me for a month at the beginning of the year when all of this first started, and we made a lot of progress. I think Carrie is very self-aware as the owner and rider, which helps.
I concur.
And
so she's saying that she recognizes that the owner is very self-aware and that she put a month at the beginning of the year on the horse, and that helped a lot.
And I would say that we are definitely reaching the point where she's seeing now, especially I hope with you riding today, she'll see that there's a feel and a timing she doesn't quite have.
Yep.
She has the kindness, she has the willingness to learn, but she lacks the piece that a horse like this really needs to be consistent.
Good. So she's just sharing that, hopefully how the owner is seeing the difference in the feel and the timing and all the sequencing here that it takes to put it together, which she's already said that she has seen, and that's going to help us in how do we choose to move forward. And that's the game. Now, there's a difference between the owner doing the process and training. It just takes the amount of time it takes, having the trainer, do, and then there's different degrees of trainers, right? And I help all kinds. I like just helping people wherever you're at. That's the game for me. There's a difference in people that are training horses for the Olympics and people that are training horses, to get along in the backyard. And it's not better or worse. It's just different.
Well, I want to enjoy it, and I want to learn along with her, and ultimately you want to enjoy it and not be worried about the safety.
Okay.
When your horse rears, it's not a fun thing.
No, and so is that she wants to enjoy it, and she wants it to be fun. She doesn't want to do the scary rearing and the stuff that causes us fear, and that's the thing. In the face of fear, I didn't say, oh crap, okay? I did something productive, and that's the game. Is you're about to crash your car, don't just go, oh, shit. Like, turn the wheel, pump the brakes, do something productive. If you still crash, that it can happen. But if you just yelled, oh crap, or were too busy staring at your phone to even notice you were crashing, that's two different deals. But if we did some effort of productive, and then it's just learning the amount of productive and being prepared to handle all of that. Good. Any questions?
I might when I review the video, but can we email you a question?
Okay. # shameless plug. Top tier on Patreon. You got video coaching, question and answer, all that stuff is there. I love helping people and do. So links for that are in the description of the video. And that's something I do to just help. You could pay for the year on the top tier of Patreon, and it will cost you less than 3 lessons. So it's a great resource.
I've seen Patreon stuff, but I like the in-person. The video and then translating it to being in the saddle. There's a lot lost for me.
And this is so the remark is, and this is good conversation that it makes a great ad for the universe is she likes the in-person. Most people do. That's why I do in-person help and why I still do training courses versus only video. The benefit is if you think about the 3 hours of lessons versus unlimited over and over and over and over on the videos, that stuff sinks in and it helps you develop the better questions. So when you come for the in-person clinics or lessons, you're way more prepared. Okay, so I have a horse that I just started. He's got 3 rides. Rides better than your horse. He's 2. He's got 3 rides. Rides better than your horse. Walk trot here. Why is that? She's a Patreon member. She's been doing lessons for years, plural, with her other horse. And this horse and his progression, since she got him as a yearling, has been coming for little blips. Me being able to see and set it up, and then her sticking to the program. It is a picture perfect. This is how, as a trainer, I wish it could all go. And that's the why, for me, the video stuff is helpful. And it gives you the access to me. Like, am I going to answer your phone call? Yes. You pay for, I'm really giving, okay? But the reality is it should only be, well, you're not on that. I'm not taking the call. Like, join. Those people are paying for that access, to me. It's been a lot of hours. It's hot. I'm sweaty. It's 100 freaking degrees out here. And I can't believe the camera didn't overheat. That we go and do all of this. And then I got to go in the house and make dinner for my family. And my kid wants to throw baseball and go in the pool. And my wife would like a back rub. Like, there's a lot of stuff. So for me to do that and answer the questions in email, it's a lot.
You have to explain it to me. I'm a veterinarian.
Right? Veterinarian. She knows.
My life.
I really appreciate the conversation. This makes for a longer video, and plenty of people maybe clicked off if you made it to the end. Thanks for being a part of this as a conversation and together thing. I purposely don't edit out the yuck stuff. I leave it all in there and try to keep it full form so you see from beginning to end, hear the conversation. If I edit anything in this, it would have been clipping out where you were talking and then I had to repeat it back for you guys to see it. But otherwise, I leave this stuff as a full-length thing. That's what I like to share. Real training, not doctored. I didn't do 2 hindquarter yields and magically it's better. Real stuff. Thank you guys for bringing. I'm really excited about how far we got and that we were able to see the things and pinpoint it's this, this, and this, and here's how we progress. And then I was able to call out, being cheeky about, like, I got to promote that stuff for the world, but it is just saying this is where the answer is in these videos, so we can refer back to that and go, awesome, I know where the answer is. Teamwork makes the dream. All right, we're going to close out this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for staying along and being a part of this. Make sure you're subscribe. Check us out on Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, all the things at Pear Tree Ranch. I'm Jake.